Hello, I'm Yakai, and today I'm going to share a team that I think kind of fun to use, which is Shadowclaw or Shadow Sneak, Adrian Claw Giratina, Escavalier, and Cobalion. This team is very good at walling those dark poison and warring in the back, but at all that said, I actually face extremely many warring in the lead. So all that said, let's hop into the battle. The first battle always Giratina versus Flooring. Okay, our first Flooring lead. I'm going to immediately say swap into Cobalion. And the opponent swap into the Escavalier. I think that Cobalion can actually win this if we commit 2 shield. Because 2 single shot will kill and we extremely outpace this Escavalier. We are going to shield once and then go for our second single shot after 1 double click, right? No, I actually do 3. And if the opponent want to commit shield, they need to shield and throw the next draw immediately, but they actually don't shield because they have their own Giratina in back. So I think this is kind of a mistake by the opponent because they can easily win this if they fight for switch. But I'll take that. We actually got off second Stone Edge here at 1 HP. That's nice. And we're going to come in with our Giratina to solve the energy. First Dragon Claw come through and they swap to the Warring after throwing in some Shadow Claws. So now, because the Warring and Icicle Sphere nerf, I don't expect them to bait against Escavalier when they are upper shield. So I shield the Earthquake. And I'm going to start to go for my drill runs. First drill run coming through, they probably will commit both shield on this Warring. So I throw on their next Earthquake to win the CMP tie and grab the second shield. This Earthquake won't kill my Escavalier, and I think I can counter them down because before they got to their next Icicle Sphere. But the opponent actually makes a really nice play. Farm up to 4 Powder Snow and snipe with their Giratina. This put me in the tough spot because I need either have 2 Dragon Claws for this Giratina and Warring, or I need to farm this Giratina all the way down. I'm committing it, but we actually just short of it. They got to their next Dragon Claw at 1 HP and a Dream. GG to the opponent. I think I could have thrown there to maybe win the CMP, but I think my Giratina will lose the CMP. So all that said, good game to my opponent. And going to our next battle. Giratina against another Warring. So again, we are going to immediately swap to our Cobalion, and this time we face a Trevenant. This matchup is actually not that bad for Cobalion because Trevenant need to throw a Shadow Ball and a Sleep Bomb if they don't want to get hurt by the second Stone Edge. Because like you see here, the Shadow Ball actually is not enough to put the Cobalion in the farm downwind before we got to the next stone edge. The opponent decided to shield once and go for a farm down. I'll take that. Now we are going to come in with our Giratina to eat the energy. Because they have many energy, I don't expect them to bait, but my Giratina is kind of useless against their Walrein, so I'm not going to commit any shield on my Giratina. They actually got to the second Shadow Ball on the CMP time as I throw my Dragon Claw. Now I'm going to come in our Scavalier to hope for the sweep, but it's actually Swampert in back. This is tough. I go for the Hail Mary Megalhorn, hoping they no shield it and I can shield and farm down, but they actually shield it. Now this becomes really tough for us. I don't think we can win this, as we have to throw another Megalhorn to the Swampert, and we won't have enough HP to survive the powder snows and an earthquake from the opposing Walrein. On the plus side, they still have a low health Trevenant which can do some Shadow Claw damage. So at this point, this game is over. GG's to our opponent. They actually even go for a sick catch. Well played from them. Hope you can get to expert soon. GG. So let's go to our next battle. Giratina against Shadow Walrein, another Walrein. So we're also going to switch into our Cobalion. This time we made a Talonflame. So Cobalion can actually win this in the 2 shield if we successfully bait one for the Secret Sword. We can shield here and just safely go for 2 stone edges and take back switch. Now I definitely can go over another Secret Sword bait, but I think it's too risky. It's more safe that I would just go for 2 stone edge, because if they don't fall for the single sword bait, we will be in the trouble. So we are going to commit our last shield and do 1 double click egg and throw the stone edge, so that we won't eat this incinerate damage. Stone edge takes out the Talonflame, and the opponent going to come in the Cresselia. I think it's actually a mistake by the opponent for not coming in Cresselia against my Cobalion, because this matchup is much comfortable than Cobalion against Talonflame. Later side, we have another opponent which switch into our Cobalion against the Cresselia. I think this will make a totally different result. So anyway, I'll take that, and we come in with our Giratina to suck the energy from Cresselia. The second Moonblast coming through, I'll probably survive this. But it will put me very low. I expected the switch back into Walrein, so I blind switch black egg blind switch into my Escavalier. They actually do switch back into their Walrein. We can take an EQ no problem, and just farm up a little bit more and go for the drill one. First drill one will kill the Warren, and we can go for the next drill one to kill the Cresselia after 2 counters. GG to our opponent. So let's go into our next battle. This is a kind of neutral lead. Giratina against Trevenant. I think I actually lack a turn. And so the Trevenant actually got 7 Shadow Claw when I got 6 Shadow Claw. My opponent wanted to catch the Shadow Sneak on Drapion, but I didn't throw it. I farmed up a little more and switched into my Cobalion. Now, Cobalion actually is one of the hardest war to Drapion if they don't have Aqua Tail, like this opponent. The crunch is just tickling. Even they got the debuff, I think I still can just go for 2 single sword and double kick down this Drapion. I just need to make sure I don't let them and sneak in a free poison sting, I think. Yeah, just like this. They are 4 poison sting away from their next crunch, so I think I can farm down just in time. But my opponent immediately swapped back into their Trevenant and Frenzy Bone to take out my Cobra. I'll take that, and I'll come back into my loaded Giratina and start to throw in this Shadow Sneak to chip down the Trevenant. Shadow Sneak doing a decent chunk of damage to Trevenant. I throw one before they are getting to their Shadow Ball. This Dragon Claw will KO, so they commit their first shield. And I will also shield this. They can't get to next Shadow Ball if they bait here, so I'm going to just go for the farm down. This is just a speed bump, we don't need to shield. I think it's a Skuntank bag, seeing the trap lead and the Drapion 6 swap. This is a very common line made by King Ivy in the Open Ultra League. So the Drapion coming in, I throw my Dragon Claw after 1 Shadow Claw. I think I could have farmed a little bit more, but that's okay. The last mon actually is a Regirock. Kind of spicy pick by my opponent. Respect that, but we have a hard counter in the back as Escavalier, so they top left right here. GG's. So going to our next battle. Giratina against another Warring. We're going to switch into our Cobalion again, and this time they switch into Cresselia. This is a very comfortable matchup for Cresselia, and as I found, nowadays more and more Cresselia are running Future Sight instead of Grass Knot after the Warring nerf, which I think makes sense. But that is actually tougher for my team to deal with, as Future Sight I also heard hurts a ton on my Escavalier, although it is resisted. Now I'm not going to commit any shield as I have no shot for taking switch. I'm going to go back to my Giratina to farm armor. And I think I just farmed down here. Yeah, I just barely farmed down. And now I'm going to come in immediately to my Escavalier. And they have a Talonflame in back. And with top F. This just totally a team come advantage by my opponent. And well played by them swapping in the Cresselia against my Cobalion. Make sure they retain switch. So next match, as Giratina against Octagon horrible lead, we are going to swap immediately to our Cobalion. They come in with a Clefable. Now this actually is not that bad because 2 Stone Edges actually nearly it takes out the Clefable. So I'm going to show this right here and go for a very risky bait of Single Sword and hope I can get to the Stone Edge. Either grab the second shield or take back switch. Now I do successfully got the bait. I've thrown the Stone Edge here now. Will this KO the Clefable? It does not. The Clefable survive in 1 HP. Very nice shield management by my opponent. I'm going to farm here with my Cresselia with my Escavalier actually, to get 1 counter advantage. Now my opponent last mon is Cresselia. So Escavalier just goes to town right here. Throwing the Megahorn here, big damage. The opponent doesn't shield. And we don't need to shield as all move from Cresselia is resisted. But this Future Sight, I still hurt a lot. Now I'm going to throw my Druid on the CMP time, same time as the Cresselia got to next Moonblast or Future Sight. And to preserve some HP, I'm going to shoot this move right here. And again, I'm going to go for the CMP time, but my opponent actually decides to catch. I see the catch and I throw the Megahorn. This will take out the Octagon, and this is a GG. GG to my opponent. And I think this is our last 2 battle. Giratina lead against Giratina lead. Oh, I remember this match. Seeing this Alolan Night, I'll say so. I think all of you know what team is it. And I also know I was in trouble after I takes out this A9 with my Escav, because I don't have a great response onto their last mon in the back, which is a Charmer. This is the new mechanic. My opponent actually it gets to their next move before I counted them down. They should have died with a move, but anyway, we'll take that. My opponent come in with their Giratina to farm down. Luckily, we can get to our next drill run to chip down this. But as you see, it is another Charmer in back, and this is GG. Like, what is Cobalion actually going to do against a Charmer that doesn't take super effective damage as A9? It can't do anything. I go for a risky bet, thinking that they will shoot, but they actually know. So this is actually totally over. I go for another bait. They probably shoot, right? Yeah, they do shoot. They're actually throwing a move right here, which is okay. I'll shoot this and go for another bait. But I can't get to the next stone edge, so I'm going to throw a single shot next. But they actually throw the move, which I think is weird. They could have just farmed down my Cobalion and go for the Moon Blast on this Sylveon. So it is over. I'm going to take this. I'm going to earn. Going to our last match. This actually an early version of this team, which is Pidgeot in the lead instead of Giratina. We see a A9 lead. We have two battle answers in back, so I'm going to immediately swap into my Cobalion that actually farm up a little bit and swap into Traven, which I think is a slightly misplay, as Cobalion with NG is not that bad against Traven, especially if we correct shield a Shadow Ball and we also have a huge energy head start. We're going to farm up more and go for our second Stone Edge. Will they shield or not? They don't shield with double we maintain in the swap, take back swap, so it's looking good. They come back with Ninetale. Because I can only get to one move, I'm going to go for a Stone Edge here. They shield it. Nice play. Now I'm going to just get farmed down, but Escavalier can take a nice move really well. They swap into their last mon, which is Swampert, and we come in immediately with our Pidgeot. No shooting this Hydro. And they have the next. I'm also going to no-shoot this. And farm up a little bit more, make them think. I'm going for the Brave Bird. And I'm going to bait it with the Fire Dance. They shield, so this game is over now. I can go for my Brave Bird now. Kill the Swampert. And takes out the A9 with my Escavalier. So my opponent just top left here to my opponent. So all that said, this team is actually looking decent. If you didn't see so many warring lead, is the backline is really well for hard walling those warring or poisons that say swap in the back. So all that said, this is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next. Goodbye.